Hey everybody, Smart Silver Stacker here, and in today's video I want to talk to you about 3 important factors to consider when buying silver bullion bars. So the first factor you want to look at is the reputation of the mint or the refiner that produces your bar. Now typically on the bar you'll see the name of whoever produced it minted there, unless you have some kind of generic bar which doesn't tell you the manufacturer, and that's something you probably want to look out for. Go ahead and check out the mint's reputation. So couple ways to do that. You could go to your local coin shop, ask them what they think about a bar, let the experts give you some insight. Another place you can check out is the London Bullion Market Association, the LBMA. They maintain a list on their website that's called their Good Delivery List, and basically it's a list of refiners who they have certified to produce products that meet high standards of quality, purity, and physical appearance. Now, actually, in fact, all the bars you're looking at here, I think, are produced by refiners that are not on the LBMA Good Delivery List. So it's not like you have to stick to things listed there. But if you want the gold standard in reputation, that's a good place to start. I actually only became aware of the LBMA Good Delivery List recently. And for future purchases, I will definitely be looking at that list, at least for some guidance as to what refiners I should be getting bars from. You'll see a lot of Scottsdale mint stuff here, and I don't buy a lot of Scottsdale stuff anymore because the premiums are pretty high, but there was a time when I was stacking a lot of it, and we'll talk about that more in just a few minutes, and I'll tell you about that. Engelhard actually is an older refiner. I think they went out of business in the 80s. So Engelhard, if you go to the LBMA website, you can see their older lists of approved refiners. And Engelhard actually makes it onto the older list, but it's not on the current one. And I think that may be because Engelhard isn't around anymore and they're not producing bullion. But that's a good resource to check out, especially if you're new to stacking. You can rest assured that the products you're getting from any of the refiners on that list are going to be of high quality. But it's also not a be-all, end-all. I absolutely feel comfortable owning silver from Engelhard, BPM, or Scottsdale Silver, or even Northwest Territorial Mint. I've got a few bars from them, and they're just a smaller mint that makes generic stuff. So don't think that just because your bullion isn't on the Good Delivery List that it's no good, but that is a gold standard, so it's a good place to start. As far as researching the reputation of brands like Scottsdale Mint or Engelhard, any of the ones that are not on that list, one thing you can do is you can just Google the name of the producer along with certain keywords. For example, you could Google Scottsdale Mint known counterfeits or Scottsdale Mint scam. And the silver community, the silver stacking community, is fairly active in places like Reddit and various forums. And if there are any known issues out there, you'll probably come across them pretty quickly with a Google search. So that's a pretty good, quick due diligence to perform before making a purchase of physical bullion. And of course, none of this is financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy or how to buy it. I'm just a guy on YouTube, so I'm just giving you my 2 cents and some insight I may have. So it's funny, the Engelhard bars actually, that was something I Googled after the fact, was Engelhard counterfeits. And there are counterfeits that look just like this bar that have been, I think, drilled out and filled with lead or something like that. So if you Google Engelhard 100 bar counterfeit, you'll find pictures of those. Now, I didn't Google that until after I had actually bought this bar already. As soon as I saw that there were counterfeits that looked just like that bar, I thought, oh, great. I did buy that from a secondary market dealer that performs assays on their products that they resell. And I've also kind of done my own examination and assay, so I'm fairly confident that this is a genuine 100-ounce bar. Had I done that research beforehand, I might have hesitated to buy the specific bar, and I might have just opted for a different one. So don't be like me. Learn from my mistake. Go ahead and do that due diligence before you make your purchase. Once you've verified the reputation of the refiner that produces the bar that you're interested in, the second factor that you're going to want to check out is the resellability. When you're thinking about resellability, really what you're thinking about is your exit strategy from this physical silver bullion and how you're going to either sell this for dollars or whatever currency you might end up selling it for someday. But think about that before you buy it and have a full picture of your investment in your mind from start to finish. One tool you can use is the eBay completed sale tools. So you can go on eBay and you can do a search for Scottsdale 20 troy ounce bar, and you'll find a bunch of these, but then you can go in the filters and select to filter by auctions that have only sold. So you'll see a list of every Scottsdale 20 troy ounce bar that's sold within the past couple months, and you'll be able to get an idea for how quickly they're selling and at what price. I'm not saying you got to buy your silver on eBay. I'm just suggesting that you use that tool because that is a real marketplace and you can get real-time market data from using that tool, so you can see whether or not you think you'd be able to sell your particular bullion product on there. And if you can sell it on there, you can probably sell it elsewhere, whether it be to private individual investors or bullion dealers or a local coin shop or something along those lines. But you just want to make sure that there is a liquid market. Another general rule for resellability is that something like this 100-ounce bar is going to be a little bit trickier to find a buyer for than, say, a 1 troy ounce bar. And that's simply because there's probably more people out there with $30 to spend on silver than what you would need to spend to buy a 100-ounce bar. And also, there may be people who are just not trying to buy in 100-ounce increments, or there may be people who specifically want 1 troy ounce bars because they want divisibility. You should be able to always sell these larger bars to a refiner at the very least, and they'll probably quote you a competitive price that at least is spot or better. Again, you might want to call around to see people in your area what they're buying silver for. So, if you call all of your local coin shops and ask them what they're paying for 100 troy ounce bars, and they say that they don't buy those, then you might want to reconsider and get something smaller. Just consider your exit strategy and how you're going to resell that bar before you buy it. Have a plan going into your investment. And that's especially true of very large bars. So I don't have one, but there are 400-ounce bars out there. Anybody who watches that show Pawn Stars, there's an episode where this guy brings in a big silver collection, and I think he has like a 400-ounce bar. It's some kind of giant bar. The old man there really likes the bar, but he wants to assay it before he'll buy it. He won't buy it kind of sight unseen. So he goes in the back and he drills into the bar, and they perform a test and they verify that it's authentic. But if you're buying really large bars, especially something like a 400-ounce bar, expect that a potential buyer may want to do some kind of an assay. Another thing you might want to consider, I know a lot of stackers like hand-poured bars. So you might get like a 1.1 troy ounce bar or something like that, because these are being poured by hobbyists. So the purity of the metal is probably okay, but they're just going to be kind of irregular, and they're not from a recognizable large mint. So while there is a market for that kind of bullion, stuff that's poured bars from hobbyists, that may be a little bit tougher to sell, especially if you want to get back some premium that you may have paid, because those are a little more collectible than your kind of standard bullion. So to track down a buyer who's willing to pay that premium for something that is a little bit more collectible versus, just selling it at spot to the refiner, it's also something you might want to consider if you're buying some bullion like that. Once you've determined that a bullion bar is from a reputable refiner and it can be sold in the future with relative ease, it's time to take a look at the premium. The premium is the price that you pay over the spot price of silver for your physical bar. So for example, let's say that today the spot price is $25 and you pay $26 for this 1 ounce bar. Well, you paid a $1 premium. The spot price of silver is set by the trading of paper futures contracts. The delivery of physical silver to retail investors incurs some additional costs, and that's why we pay a premium over spot for physical products. As a general rule with silver bars, smaller bars like these are going to have a higher premium than larger bars like these. Market conditions vary and premiums fluctuate, but it wouldn't be unusual to find a large 100-ounce bar like this either at spot or very close to spot. And you're probably going to get the same thing back when you sell it. So with smaller bullion products, it's likely that you're going to get some of the premium that you pay. You'll get it back when you sell the product, especially if you sell it to another private investor. If you're selling it directly to a refiner, you may only get spot, but let's say you're selling it to a metals dealer who may just go ahead and flip that stuff and sell it, you might get a little bit of your premium back. So it's not like that premium is always lost. You may recoup some of that when you sell it. Now, of course, the best thing to do is to find products that have a high premium under normal circumstances, like these Scottsdale bars, and pick them up at a significant discount to that normal premium. I mentioned earlier in the video that there was a time when I was stacking a lot of these Scottsdale bars. That was all back when silver was under $20 an ounce. And one thing that I would look for, and I bought a lot of silver this way, was on eBay. Periodically, the Scottsdale Mint has an eBay store, and they would put up these posts that would say silver special price. And it would always be either one of these 20-ounce bars or these 10-ounce stackers, or sometimes something like one of these 10-ounce loaf bars, but always one of their products, at least once or twice a month, would go on sale on their eBay store. And it would be for sale maybe $1 over spot or $1.50 over spot, like very low premiums, even though during normal times, these bars fetch a much higher premium than that. So I would just frequently search eBay for that term silver special price. And I think I even have a video on the channel from 2 or 3 years ago talking about doing this. It's called Buying Silver on eBay the Smart Way. Now, ever since March and that big dip in the price of metals and all the craziness since then, I haven't seen Scottsdale Mint selling any of these products at a discount on their eBay store any longer. They're pretty much consistently charging a high premium. So I won't pay a high premium for Scottsdale silver, but when a product like that that normally sells for a high premium goes on sale, that I think is a great time to stack it. So, one of the nice things with those sales was you could pay with a credit card, you could get cash back, and there was no special cash price or anything like that. One time, they had the bar listed below spot, and I at the time I thought it was crazy. The spot price was 17 or 18 bucks, and I saw these go up for $341. I remember, and I only had like $500 or $600 at the time to pay to spend on silver, so I just bought one. And as soon as I bought it, I got a confirmation, and I went and looked back at the listing, and it had been adjusted to I think like 380, 390 bucks. So I think maybe they had just listed their special price thing at the wrong price. But they sent me the bar, and at the moment I just thought, gosh, I got to jump on this deal. But I realized after the fact that might have been an error on their part. If it was an error and I took advantage of it, sorry, just saw a listing for a good price of bullion and I wanted to take advantage of it. But anyway, you want to pay attention to the premium that you're paying. So that's the third factor that you want to think about when you're investing in silver bullion bars. If you can't find a product that sells for a high premium for a low premium, then my preference is just to stick with whatever bars have the lowest premium possible, but are still from a reputable, recognizable brand. So that's it, everyone. 3 factors to consider before you go out buying silver bars. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified about future videos. Also, of course, this list is far from complete. I'm sure there are plenty of other things you want to consider when you're shopping for silver bars. If you can think of anything I left out, please let us all know in the comments below. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you next time. Smart Silver Stacker out.